Yo, what's going on, YouTube family? It's your man Jeremy Doodoo here. I hope that your new year is off to a good start so far. This is the time of the year where a lot of people are saying, new me, who this? You know, they're trying to come up with a vision board or they're trying to come up with new goals on top of the old goals. But I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever felt at the end of the year like you're not doing enough? Or do you feel like you're in a constant state where you're not doing enough? That's a common thing that I feel. All right, as a creative professional who has a full-time job and tries to do their own thing on the side and mentor people and keep up with my roles as a husband and a father, it can feel overwhelming at times because I feel like I have so many goals. Right, there's so many things that I want to do. Right, but I feel like I can't keep up all the time. A strategy that I want to implement at the beginning of this year is, instead of adding new goals onto my plate, because I got a bunch of other goals that I didn't hit last year, I want to cut certain things out of my life. So in this video, I want to talk about 5 things that we can cut out of our life to make space for the things that actually matter. Most of the time, the reason that we're not reaching those goals is because we have all this other stuff that we're focusing on that's not actually getting us to the original thing that we intended to accomplish. This is just my strategy. If it connects with you, hopefully it's just something that you could try out as well. But the first thing that I want to cut out of my life is allowing fear to stall my dreams, right? I have a list of notes in front of me, so I'm going to be looking down sometimes. Allowing fear to stall our dreams. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't feel fear, because that's an intrinsic part of our nature as human beings. But I am saying that I know that there have been times where I have a goal and I'm not getting started on that goal because of a certain fear. And I could think back to my childhood when my mom used to tell me, you will never be with a pretty woman. You'll never be with a pretty girl. And she used to tell me that because I used to have a fear of talking to pretty girls, right, as a teenager. Over time, I used to think that to myself, I'm never going to marry a pretty woman. And when I got into my young adult years, I was out in college, I would holler at women, you know, I was doing my thing, I was spitting game, right? Sometimes I get rejected, sometimes I would get accepted, and that boosted my confidence. But over time, I gained the confidence to become somebody who I wanted to be. But what I think fear is that it's a seed that somebody else plants in our minds, and usually it's a myth that we believe, right? And we let that seed grow, and we nurture those fears, right? And what I think that we need to start doing is making a choice to make a move even if we feel the fear. The second thing that I think that we need to stop doing is believing that we aren't enough. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I feel like every year I'm in this cycle where I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not enough. I'm not the designer that I want to be yet. I'm not the father that I want to be yet. I'm not the husband that I want to be yet. And what I often put in the way is all these other things, right? Once I read this book, then I'll be better. Once I reach out to this person, then I'll be better. Once I take this class, then I'll be better. But we all have a starting point. And I look at life like I look at design. Life is an iterative process, right? Once you try something out, you fail, you get a little better, you revise, you fail, you get a little better, and then it becomes so refined that what you accomplish is actually probably better than the original vision that you had for yourself, right? So we have to stop believing that we aren't enough and just start. The third thing that I think that we need to stop doing is giving people the time of day who don't deserve our time. We need to start cutting certain people out, right? Because sometimes those people can hold us back from our desires with the things that they say, with their actions, and it influences the way that we think about ourselves. And most of the time, this is a challenge because it could be somebody that we truly love, like a parent or a spouse or a partner, right? Even our own children. And I'm not saying that we need to love them any less, but since this is the beginning of the new year, this is going to set the energy for the rest of the year, right? So it might be a few weeks, it might be a few days, it might be a few months, but this is your season to set an intention and put energy into the things that you want to create in your life. But sometimes you just have to separate yourself a little bit. And the fourth thing that I think that we need to stop doing is believing we always have to work harder. I think that since I come from a background where my parents are immigrants, naturally I saw them work hard growing up, right? They had 2-3 jobs at a time, and I thought that that was the only way to make ends meet. And now that we're living in the age of technology, we have all these different tools at our disposal. I remember I've spoken to some older designers who are, you know, at the top of their game, and I remember one of those designers, he emailed Nike. No, he didn't email Nike. He faxed Nike a bunch of different times. He didn't know who was the manager there. He sent a bunch of faxes to Nike to get an internship there. And luckily, we don't have to go through that mess anymore, right? We could get a direct line to understand who the hiring manager is on LinkedIn, and then we could connect with that person on Twitter or Instagram, send them a DM, get to know them, build a relationship with that person, build rapport, and get a referral or a recommendation. We could go direct to the source, right? So instead of us trying to make everything pixel perfect in our portfolio to the point that we don't even apply or feel like we're not ready, we could actually bypass all of that and build a relationship with the folks who actually matter, who are the decision makers. I'm not saying that hard work doesn't matter, but take advantage of the tools that you have at your disposal. The fifth thing that I think that we need to stop doing is not giving ourselves permission to fail forward. You know, a lot of times we tell ourselves no before we let somebody else tell us no. You know, so we don't even give ourselves the chance to fail or even try. So I feel like when you fail, like I said earlier, it's just a process of refinement, right? The vision that you actually create after you fail, most of the time is better than the original idea that you had. So going forward through this year, I would say that the thing that I'm going to try is just testing things out. I don't always have to have a plan. I won't always have to feel like I know everything that I'm going to get into. You know, with this YouTube channel or with any other venture that I have outside of work or this, I'm just going to try it out. Yeah, guys, I hope that this video helps you start off the new year on the right foot. This year, you know, I want to start getting these videos out to more and more creators, because I think that the thing that we struggle with the most is not the work. We don't struggle with making pretty designs. We struggle with having the right kind of attitude and mindset that's going to get us to the success that we want in our lives. All right, that's the thing that we want, that we struggle with the most. And so with this channel, what I want to do going forward this year is help you change your mindset, or bring people on here who can expand the way that you think when it comes to your creativity. There's a lot of people talking about UX. There's a lot of people talking about UI design and Figma, but there's this different component about design where we don't talk about how we think, right? So I want to lean more into that this year. So I hope that you're ready for that, and that you resonate with this content. But if you did, you already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.